remember how long, guess I always been this way, running 90 miles a minute all night and day, doing things that'd kill a lesser man or get him locked up tight. Never meant to hurt nobody, no I ain't like that, just trying to make my way any way I can. There's a lot of folks out there wanna slow me down, make me act right.
I am Cody Myers. I drive the 94 Chevy Silverado that we call Deadpool. My crew is the Dayton Small Tire Mafia, and we street race, represent Dayton. I got into street racing in '99 probably. I lived in North Carolina at the time, and I just was always a big lover of race cars, hot rods and stuff like that. My dad built me a Nova when I was younger, and then he used to drive it to the track, and I'd race it all night and then he'd drive it back home. This was when I was like 13, and pretty much it took off from there. As soon as I got a driver's license, I was in the street literally the next weekend. I raced a Fox body Mustang. I had my Nova at the time that was the first street race I was ever in. William Street was the name of the road that it was on. Used to be like the cruising spot back in '98 to 2002 area, where I'm from in Goldsboro, North Carolina. And come up to a stoplight, Fox body GT built car. I knew about the car, just had a local reputation and stuff. And we took off on a green, and I got out on him, and within seconds there was a cop doing a 180 in the road, whipping around, following us, and that was my first experience. Yeah. Cop pulled us over after that race. He went for me, the Mustang went left, I went right, he chose me. He come up to the door, asked for my license. I didn't even have a driver's license, I had a learner's permit. I actually had a security forces cop from the base with me who was a good friend of mine who had a Nova, and was able to get out of it, got let go, but had to spend some money on some lawyers and stuff like that, and never looked back. Since the Nova, I've built a lot of cars, honestly, but Deadpool is probably the one that I have the most reputation on the street with. It started out as just something to play around on some back roads with and stuff. I just wanted a cool little street truck to do some burnouts with and have some fun, and it escalated quickly. Within probably 3 or 4 years times, we put it on the Fat Kid plan a few times, and it kept getting lighter and kept making more power, kept putting more nitrous on it, and eventually started trying to compete in small tire street racing, Outlaw 28 stuff. So Deadpool is pretty unique in a couple of aspects. Small block Chevrolet is kind of a dying breed almost anymore with LS stuff and turbo stuff and stuff like that. Not as many people do the small block Chevrolet thing anymore, so I kind of take pride in that. So the truck, it's still small block Chevrolet truck. It's stroked. It's got as much nitrous as it needs to have on it, you know what I mean? Turbo 350 truck, it's still all steel. The only thing glass on it's the hood. I mean, it's not like super lightweight, obviously. It's not conventionally what you would pick, man, but it was a unique challenge, and I've enjoyed it thus far. It's got a little bit of chassis work done to it. Rob and I do some chassis work and stuff like that. That's one of like our things we do on the side. So the front end's nubbed on it. It's rack and pinion steering, you know what I mean? And a lot of it's hand built. We just did it, in my garage in the backyard. Like, there's no high dollar crazy, bolt-on kits and stuff on this thing. Like, we did this, we built this, all bare hands, man. Bent every tube, every pipe, every piece of the cage. It's still got a 10-bolt 8.5 in it, which sounds scary, but Moser built it. It's got 35 spline axles in it. It's got a spool in it. The ends are welded. It's got 9-inch ends. You know what I mean? It's a badass setup, and it holds up well. And thanks to Tony McKinney, Complete Auto. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It's simple, but it's something I've been working on a long time, and it's just finally started coming together. Well, one good memory was we raced in a Outlaw 28 event at Marion County last year, and I got the chance to race Billy for the first time. I had never raced Billy before, and he was sleeping on the tree. I cut a good light, and he got on top of the tire a little bit, and that's all it took, man. And there just wasn't enough time for him to come back, and I got the win that night, put him on a trailer first round. That was a pretty good experience. I got so many awesome street race memories with it, man. I raced Rob Hill in a cash days, a big cash days we put on a couple of years ago, the Indiana shootout deal that we did at Joe. That was badass, you know what I mean? I went 3 rounds that night, ended up meeting Rob in the semifinal in that race, and he's He's been my right-hand man ever since, you know what I mean? Shoot, probably just like the first time I got the truck in the 9s too, you know what I mean? It's been a long progression with this thing, man. I mean, it started out as like an 11-second truck 5 years ago, man, and it knocks on the door of running some 8s now, you know what I mean? In the quarter, it's pretty cool with the evolution that it's gone through. Changes in suspension. It's just been a long road, no doubt. We're going to turn her up some more this year. Basically, the plan with Deadpool this year, we're going to put some more timing in it. I got some things lined out from last year where I was kind of being easier on the truck, you know what I mean? Wanted it to get through the season, kind of feeling out a new setup that we went with, but we're going to let it eat pretty good this year, crank the timing up, throw some more nitrous to it, and see where she shakes down. I have the best supporting cast in racing. My wife is 110% supportive. She's always been supportive. She's always had my back. Always roots for me, man. I mean, she gives me the ability to live this dream. I'm not going to lie to you. Without her, there's no way I could do it. You know what I mean? She takes care of the kids so I can spend all this time, you know, chasing this dream, racing. My kids are part of my crew, you know what I mean? My son, my youngest son, Jason, my oldest son, CJ, they're very, very huge parts of my crew, man. I couldn't even race without them, you know what I mean? They help just with setup between rounds, fueling it up, making sure nitrous is right. You know, my family does all those things for me. And then my guys on the Mafia, you know what I mean? They're all there. We all have each other's back, man. Like, as far as having support, I don't believe I could have any more support than what I have. So, the Dayton Small Tire Mafia originated as an idea. Rob and I had been racing for some time together. Back in the days on the road, towards the end when things got kind of rough, we would have to wait out, you know, for cops to come, people to get run off because nobody respected the spot. And we'd have to wait till 4 in the morning, you know what I mean, to be able to get testing off, you know what I mean, where we could actually get some hits in and we could get some data and make our cars faster. That's how it got to be. So it was always like me, Rob, and Dave at the end of the night, man. And we got close because of that, you know what I mean? And then the idea became, Dayton's always been such a cutthroat town when it comes to street racing, man. Like, there wasn't anybody really coming together. Everybody's, you know, it's kind of like almost a backstabbing scene, and I wanted to change that outlook. I wanted Dayton street racing to be something bigger and better than that, you know what I mean? Show that a group of guys could come together and that a team any day of the week is going to be stronger than any single man, you know what I mean? And we could accomplish our dreams together, have each other's back. If anyone needs anything, somebody always steps up. If, you know, just like if somebody needed tires, if somebody, whatever it may be, we all look out for each other. It's completely selfless. And we always know that there's going to be somebody to step up and have our back, whether that be with crewing, whether that be whatever it may be. You know, we look out for each other, man, and it makes things a lot easier on us. The plan for the Mafia this year is we're going to do a lot more no prep stuff, do a lot more backtrack stuff and stuff like that, as much Outlaw 28 stuff as we can get into. We would also like to start traveling some more, reaching out, going to some different states and stuff. And just trying to get more out there, man. We want to take on whoever we can.
Hell yeah.
And we want to do it together.
You remember how long it's always been this way, running 90 miles a minute all night and day, doing things that'd kill a lesser man or get him locked up tight. Never meant to hurt nobody, no I ain't like that, just trying to make my way any way I can. There's a lot of folks out there wanna slow me down, make me act right.